Three, two, one. India surpasses defense production milestone to 1.27 lakh crore.
India is seeking to solidify its status as a global manufacturing center through the increase in indigenous defense production propelled by policies and expansion in exports. India's defense production has soared to new heights, achieving a figure of 1 rupee and 27 paise lakh crore in the fiscal year 2023-24, a notable 16.7% increase from the preceding year. This surge, reported by the Ministry of Defense, shows the country's progress towards self-sufficiency in defense manufacturing, buoyed by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's Make in India initiative. Global Data's intelligence on the Indian defense market highlights that the latest draft version of the defense production policy was introduced in 2016 to achieve self-reliance in the design, development, and production of equipment, weapon systems, and platforms required for defense, to create conditions conducive for the private industry to take an active role in this endeavor, to enhance the potential of SMEs in indigenization, and to broaden the country's defense R&D base. A breakdown of the production figures reveals that defense public sector undertakings (DSS) and other public sector units (SUS) contributed significantly, accounting for 79.2% of the total production value, with the private sector contributing the remaining 20.8%. This balanced growth signifies a collaboration between public and private entities to advance India's defense manufacturing capabilities. The achievement is attributed to a decade-long reform agenda to enhance the ease of doing business and promote indigenous production. These reforms, coupled with indigenization efforts, have fostered an environment conducive to growth in defense output. The result is a boost in domestic production and a rise in defense exports, which surged to 21,083 rupees crore in FY 2023-24, marking a 32.5% increase from the previous fiscal year.
Infantry combat vehicle bidding process reaches advanced stage. The process to modernize the mechanized infantry fighting arm of the Indian Army will soon get a fillip, as the preparations for request for proposal (RFP) for more than 500 infantry combat vehicles (ICVs) are in advanced stages. Sources said that against its request for information (RFI) issued earlier, it received responses from 15 Indian vendors. However, issues raised by a few vendors are being actively worked out. IC verses are to be deployed in high-altitude areas, HAS, deserts, and amphibious terrains. The Army is seeking to replace its nearly 10 battalions with new ICVs. Besides, the Army is also looking to procure 105 wheeled armored personnel carriers, X for Rex and support. RFI for this is under formulation, a defense source said. Meanwhile, the US-made Stryker armored infantry combat vehicle under consideration will soon begin its testing and trials. Stryker is an 8-wheel-driven combat vehicle developed by General Dynamics Land Systems. Sources in the defense and security establishment said talks between India and the U.S. on Stryker are at an advanced stage. One of the reasons why Stryker is under consideration, according to sources, is that Indian vendors are unable to meet the qualitative requirements (QR). In case the Stryker deal is firmed up, there will be limited off-the-shelf purchase under the U.S. Foreign Military Sales (FMS) to begin with. It will then be followed by a joint production in India, and vehicles will be configured as per Indian Army's requirements, comprised of indigenous equipment and parts, sources said. The capabilities of the Stryker will have to be altered to suit Indian high-altitude terrain such as eastern Ladakh, where tensions along the line of actual control have been ongoing between India and China since May 2020. Sources said the decision will be taken progressively after a holistic analysis. With an eye on China, India unveils light battle tanks, Zorwar. India has carried out initial trials of an indigenous light tank named Zorwar, being developed primarily to enhance the Army's overall combat capabilities along the line of actual control, LAC, with China. People familiar with the matter said on Saturday. The Defense Research and Development Organization (EDO) and LT Defense are developing the air-transportable 25-ton tank that has been designed for rapid deployment largely along the frontier with China, they said. The initial internal trials of the tank took place at a facility in Izira, Gujarat, less than 2 years after the ambitious project was sanctioned, the people in the know of the matter said. The Indian Army is looking at deploying over 350 light tanks, mostly in the mountainous border areas. They said, India has carried out initial trials of an indigenous light tank named Zorwar, being developed primarily to enhance the Army's overall combat capabilities along the line of actual control, LAC, with China. People familiar with the matter said on Saturday. The Defense Research and Development Organization (EDO) and LT Defense are developing the air-transportable 25-ton tank that has been designed for rapid deployment largely along the frontier with China, they said. The initial internal trials of the tank took place at a facility in Izira, Gujarat, less than 2 years after the ambitious project was sanctioned, the people in the know of the matter said. The Indian Army is looking at deploying over 350 light tanks, mostly in the mountainous border areas, they said. The development of Azor is being seen to be aimed at countering China's deployment of tanks of the same categories. It has taken a series of measures since the Galwan Valley clashes in eastern Ladakh to enhance its combat capabilities. It deployed a significant number of easily transportable M777 ultralight howitzers in mountainous regions along the LAC, including in Arunachal Pradesh. The M777s can be transported quickly in Chinook helicopters. The Army has also deployed heavy tanks like T-90 and T-72 and infantry combat vehicles in eastern Ladakh. The artillery units of the Army have already deployed K-9 Vajra-tracked self-propelled howitzers, Banaka rocket systems, and Danish gun systems along the frontier with China. The Indian and Chinese militaries have been locked in, a standoff since May 2020, and a full resolution of the border row has not yet been achieved, though the two sides have disengaged from a number of friction points. The ties between the two countries nosedived significantly following the fierce clash in the Galwan Valley in June 2020 that marked the most serious military conflict between the two sides in decades. India has been maintaining that its ties with China cannot be normal unless there is peace in the border areas. Indian Army receives 35,000 AK-203. Head of the 22nd India-Russia Summit, Indo-Russian Rifles Private Limited (IRPL) has successfully produced and delivered 35,000 made-in-India Kalashnikov AK-203 assault rifles to the Indian Army. This marks a major milestone in the ongoing defense cooperation between India and Russia, emphasizing India's Make in India initiative in the defense sector. The Kalashnikov AK-203, a modernized version of the AK-200 series chambered for the 7.60 Quaxum cartridge, is designed to bolster the combat capabilities of the Indian Army. IRRPL is a joint venture involving India's Ordnance Factory Board, Russia's ROSOBORONE, XPORTJSE, and the Kalashnikov Group, both subsidiaries of ROST, State Corporation, Russia's primary supplier of armaments, military, and special equipment. This project is a crucial part of India's Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan Self-Reliant India program, which prioritizes the localization of defense production. Sergei Chemizov, Director General of ROST, highlighted the significance of this venture, stating, "Today, India is the first foreign customer to produce the ETWO 100th series of Kalashnikov assault rifles. Production has been deployed in India in full compliance with the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan programs. The rifles were manufactured at the Core Ordnance Factory in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh, which has been outfitted with the necessary machinery to ensure timely production and delivery." Alexander Mikheyev, Director General of ROSOBORONE, XPORT, emphasized the project's successful implementation, noting, "This enabled the production and delivery of 35,000 Kalashnikov assault rifles to the Indian Army within the agreed time frame with the Ministry of Defense of India." He also described the joint venture as a vivid example of fruitful cooperation between our countries in the defense sector. Additionally, ROST has announced the production of Mango shells in India, designed to defeat armored vehicles with composite armor under the Make in India program. The 125mm Mango round is compatible with the T-72 and T-90 MBTS. Defense cooperation remains a cornerstone of Indo-Russian relations, marked by numerous collaborative projects over the years. These include the S-400 air defense system, licensed production of T-90 tanks and Su-30 aircraft, supply of MiG-29 and Kamov helicopters. INS Vikramaditya, formerly Admiral Gorshkov, production of AK-203 rifles, and BrahMos missiles. As the summit approaches, Russia has also approved the India-Russia Logistics Pact, enhancing military interoperability between the two nations. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
3, 2, 1.